What's up, guys? Matt here, coming at you with this brand new kit from Furitek for the FCX24. This is basically to make going brushless in one of these things as simple as possible. So really, this is geared more towards some of the new users, somebody who doesn't want to have to deal with guesswork of finding the right connectors and a new transmitter, receiver, all of that stuff. But it's also very good for a lot of us seasoned people who have done all of the other stuff but just want to go brushless and keep it kind of simple, be able to use our stock transmitter. You guys know I talk about these little one-handers. I've got to where I really like these. You can see I put a Noble wheel on this one just to give it a foam, and these things are great for one-hand driving, and I film a lot with one hand, and driving with this is too easy. So this kit is great for swapping this thing over to brushless. I mean, it just takes the guesswork out of it for anybody looking to do it. So this kit at 150 bucks, you're gonna get a Lizard Pro ESC, a receiver that works with your stock transmitter. So normally when you go brushless, you have to pick up a new ESC, new motor, obviously, but you also pull out this all-in-one motor or ESC receiver from the stock truck. So this is what works with your transmitter. It's an all-in-one built in. There's no way to keep that with a brushless system until now. So normally you take this out and just do away with both of these, and you have to find your own new transmitter, that sort of thing. So with this, we're gonna be able to just plug our servos and everything into this and keep using our transmitter, which is awesome. It's gonna come with the cables that you need to adapt, because the FCX has these oddball plugs. I forget, there's like a million different JST names. It's a JST something, I think, but whatever it is. Anyways, you can see like your shift servo and your steering servo, they all plug in with these plugs here. So you're gonna get two of these little adapters that switch them to a normal plug. So, and then we're gonna get this connector, which adapts the Lizard Pro plug here. I'm gonna take that one out. So you can go from this to the FCX battery, and everything is plug and play, that simple. Look at that. So I'm gonna work on getting this micro Komodo installed in here. You're gonna get this with it as well. This kit comes just like you see right here, without, you know, the truck battery and that sort of thing. But this stuff right here is what you will get, and it's gonna make this swap as simple as possible. So I'm gonna just kind of show you real quick as I do this install, let you watch kind of a sped up version of it. And then we're gonna run this thing and show you how simple it is to connect to your stock transmitter. So I started out just pulling my side skirts off to get them out of the way. You're gonna wanna take the 4 screws in the bottom of the skid out. That will release your transmission, motor, everything. You will have to kind of finagle it around a little bit to get your shift connector to come loose, but then everything comes out pretty simple. Pop out your ESC receiver all-in-one combo. You're not going to need that anymore. You could actually install that in another truck and still use the stock transmitter with it. Then here you were just pulling the case off of the transmission so we can get down to the 2 screws holding the motor in so that we can take our motor loose. You can see here, pull out your gears. I still got the stock plastic gears in this one. Not too hard on my Blazers because they're, you know, a little more scale, so I'll take it easy on them. But you can see the case has the notch for the pinion to fit. So if you pull on it and it doesn't come out, you may have to turn your pinion just a little bit, and it should slide straight out. Originally, they didn't have that, and you had to really cut to get your motor and pinion out. But now they actually notch them out for you. And then it's just a matter of putting everything back. You don't have to set a mesh, anything like that. They have it all lined out with the same exact pinion that comes stock in the truck. So you just bolt it right back in the stock location. You're set. There's no guesswork, no anything to this. It's just as simple as it gets. Bolt everything back. I had taken my drive shaft off just to kind of get it out of the way. You don't have to do that. I like to check, make sure everything spins freely, and then start putting it back. I usually start by lining up the shift connector right there. And then I go to the front drive shaft and get the front drive shaft lined up because it's in a little bit tighter of a spot here. You want to make sure you phase these drive shafts. So you want to line up the tabs on them in a straight line. I'll show you in a second. Then I work my way to the rear, get the rear together, slide everything into place, and you can see how the drive shaft is all lined up from ear to ear, ear to ear. You got a straight line all the way across. That just helps things spin more free and easier. It's not as important when you're going super slow, but when you start getting a lot of wheel speed, you can get more vibration and stuff if those aren't lined up. And then just bolt everything back. So I got the micro Komodo tucked in here, nice and neat. It sits really low, look at that. Very nice fit for this motor in the FCX. I wanted to put this in the black K5, but I was afraid with my interior in there, the seats like rest right here. So I was afraid I would be hitting that motor. And that's another thing, a lot of people were talking about the seater. They're like, why are you so excited about that? And that's just another reason, because you don't have that motor spinning. It's an in-runner, so it's just the can there. So you can put like an interior right on top of it. You don't have to worry about it. So I'll probably go with the seater in that thing. But this is a great fit for this. These little motors have insane torque. Amazing super slow crawl. I mean, you'll see, I'll show you. But now we just got to figure out where we're going to put everything. I think I'm using these sliders that I printed. Somebody on Facebook, I think, uploaded this file for free. I think it's on Thingiverse or something. These things just clip on to these little loops here. And you wouldn't think they would stay very good, like they don't without the body. They just kind of move around. But once you put the body on there, the body kind of sits right here, holds them in place. They've been great. I mean, I haven't ran them much, but they do fit very well. All right, I got my battery and my ESC installed here. I went with the ESC on one side, battery on the other. One little thing I like to use a lot are these clear rubber bands. I think I got them from the dollar store or something, but to hold my balance port, my balance wires. A lot of times I see people's installs, they got wires everywhere. These are dangling, hanging, whatever. You can just snap that on the battery and it'll hold this in place. A lot of times I just leave them on there because I still got room to plug this into my charger. But they're real easy to just pull off if you need your wires to be longer. But it helps you hold things out of the way and keeps everything kind of nice and clean. Obviously, this is not installed yet. I wanted to show you guys the adapters that you get with this kit, because your stock servo has this plug. Well, you get the adapters to adapt it up to this receiver that's included that will work with our stock transmitter. So we're going to bind this up really quick so you can see it work. So we're going to plug in our battery. On-off switch is right here. So you're going to want to just turn this on. You'll see this start flashing fast. So at that point, we're going to hold the bind button here and turn this on. And see, it starts flashing slow. So nothing will work. You think like it's not going to work. You have to turn everything back off. Turn this off, turn this off. Give it just a second. Turn this on. Turn this back on. And you're good. That simple. Endpoints are still set because that's basically in the transmitter here. Look at that wheel speed from that Komodo. Do have a neutral. And our low. Look at that. Look how slow that thing crawls. These are great little motors, I'm telling you. Like I love the Cedar because of the in-runner, but these are still some very good motors. I've not had issues with these at all. You know, some of these micro motors, I've killed them right and left. The micro Komodo, I have not had any issues, haven't killed one. So they've been just great for me. The most solid motor in the micros, in my opinion. Look at that slow crawl. So it's that simple to bind this up and use your stock transmitter. I mean, that's just as easy as it gets, guys. So I'm gonna clean this all up. We'll tuck these wires in, probably shrink wrap them, fasten this down. Maybe we'll just put it under this strap somehow. All right, so this right here is what we are all after. And it's now easier than ever to get this slow crawl. Look at that. it's moving so slow, like you almost can't even tell that it's moving. And that's just one of the things about going brushless. I mean, we've got lots of power. This is on 2S stock battery. This thing is crazy fast. I'll show you in a minute. But that crawl is insane. And the thing about it is, like, you don't have to ramp up to get over things. You can keep the same nice slow crawl all the way up and over the peak of things. Whereas some brushed motors, you know, you'll be like really pushing on it to just push over the peak. And you've got so much wind up at this point. When you break over this peak here, you kind of launch over it. But with this setup, you can just continue the nice slow crawl all the way over it. And you can go as slow as you want over that. Bump it up a little. Straight over it. Look at that. Insane. I mean, this stuff from Furitek is just awesome. All right. But then we can also, I mean, it's got pretty dang good wheel speed in low on 2S. We put a 3S in that, it's going to be nuts. We go high, just so you can see how fast that really is. Low, high, that's fast. And that's in high. You can get a pretty good slow crawl out of it in high. Look at that. On 2S, what? Got everything installed here. You could do whatever you wanted with the receiver. You could actually cut this tray out and put the receiver on the servo, get it down as low as possible. I'm not too worried about crazy performance with my Cape 5s, you know. I just kind of want a clean install here. But putting this in here definitely makes me want to go brushless in that one, because there's just nothing that's as sweet as that insane complete control. You just feel like you're in total control of the truck when you go to these brushless setups. But now that we can use the stock transmitter, that's insane. I mean, it's just as good as it gets, guys. This Lizard Pro does have the Bluetooth in it, so we can connect to our phone. We can go in, change our throttle curve. We can change pretty much anything you want to adjust right there on the fly. You can do it while you're out crawling. That's my favorite thing about the Furitek's. You know, it's just so easy. You can, if you don't like the way something's running, pull out your phone, make the change while you're out crawling. You don't have to come back in, connect it to the computer, do this or that. It's just too easy. I mean, they make it so simple, and they've just made it even easier. Basically, use all of your stock stuff with this kit. I mean, it's probably gonna, even somebody new could do this in 30 minutes probably. You know, it probably took me 10 minutes maybe, and that's trying to set the camera up and do all that. So simple. Comes with the pinion you need, bolts straight in. As you can see, everything fits well. Just kind of got to figure out where you're going to put your electronics. So I'll take this out on the course, get a little running to show you guys it in action. But this is just another sweet kit from Furitek that just makes it that much more simple. You guys let me know what you think about it, and I appreciate everybody watching. Peace. So you'll see here, I'm driving the black body with the interior because it fit right over top of the micro Komodo. So if you're wanting to install an interior, it can be done. Works perfectly with this truck. So this is actually the orange truck that you see me installing this on with the black body. So I just, you know, wanted to see if I could get the interior to fit. It fit just fine. No rubbing on the motor or anything like that. So I just went ahead and stuck with this body and ran it during my little bit of runtime. So all of this running was done on the stock 2S battery, including these kind of wheel speed tests. You can see here I'm walking along with it in low. Put it in high, you're gonna have to jog to keep up with this thing. It's crazy fast on the stock 2S battery. I mean, this thing will launch wheelies on demand in high gear. 2S, look at that. Crazy slow crawl. And the wheel speed is there when you want it. This thing will flat launch off the line. Look at that. I can definitely see a little K5 pickup turned into a drag truck, maybe. Somebody will do it. I'm not much on drag cars, but somebody definitely needs to do it. I appreciate you guys watching. Peace.